We are in the building. All right, man. So listen, bro. You know what I'm saying? The moment happened last night. I've been talking about this moment for over 3 months, bro. Everybody doubted me. Everybody doubted me, man. Everybody. My mama doubted me. Kenny doubted me. My grandmother doubted me. Mr. Dubs doubted me. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? Who else doubted me?
Omer
Kira,
doubted you.
Kira doubted
Omer.
me, and Omer doubted me. You know what I'm saying? And we here. My boy finished the story, and it was the most beautiful moment I have ever witnessed in my history of watching the WWE. The ending is like, I don't even know, bro. Avengers Endgame. I don't know, man. It was freaking amazing. Like just being there, feeling that moment. It was amazing. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. You know what I'm saying? So Kenny, I'm gonna pass it right back to you, my boy.
Yes, guys. Unfortunately, it actually happened. Cody Roderick Rhodes finished the story.
And one
Broke my
last
heart.
thing, and one last thing, and one last thing. F your story, Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns. That whole record thing that everybody was talking to me about. F it. Go ahead.
I gotta admit, yo, it was a great moment. I wasn't mad at it, how everything went down. In the moment when it happened, I was like, ah. I sat back down and I kind of cringed to myself a little bit because like Brian's over there going crazy. I know it, but you know what? They did what they needed to do and they pulled it off beautifully. I really wanted to see Roman Reigns break that Hogan streak because we got to cancel Christmas on that man. But unfortunately, it's going to take about 10 more years for it to happen. Before we get into it, Omer, what did you think about this story getting finished?
Well, I'm glad in Brian's 6 months of watching wrestling, he finally found something that was that made him
There you
happy.
go.
But nah, in all seriousness, I mean, it was a thing. I loved it. There was one part I really didn't like because it didn't make any damn sense. Which
We
was
going to talk about it,
which I
and
know
I'm on
Kenny
your neck.
loved. Kenny was going crazy in the group chat when that went down. But no, I thought it was a great moment. Fantastic way to kick off what is hopefully a new, improved era of WWE.
Right, absolutely. Now, Mr. Kiddo Valentine, I saw the videos that you posted on your channel for both nights. Make sure y'all check out Kiddo's full-blown reaction for the everything that happened on WrestleMania. But just give us your thoughts right now as well, Kiddo. What did you think about everything that happened in the main event? Just a quick, brief summary.
Yeah, well, first of all, Mr. Carol Valentine couldn't be here with us today. I am
Oh, yeah.
Mr. John Johnston, his attorney. So let's not make any mistakes. But if he was here, he would have said that this main event of the evening wasn't just the main event of the evening, but it was the main event of main events. This was the biggest thing that I've seen ever since I started watching wrestling. We're talking about WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels retiring. That was big. Seth Rollins cashing in the main event. That was big. I think this it has to be bigger than all of them, man. And if you know what I mean, if Stone Cold came in here as well, there would be no competition. Even then, forget about it. With what we've got so far, or last night, it was almost perfect. What can I say? What can I say? I lost my beard because I bet against Cody Rhodes. I wanted Roman Reigns to fight racism and end it, and Hulk Hogan, and you know what I mean. Just forget about him. But Cody had to just do what he had to do. And look, if I'm gonna lose my beard, this is the way it goes. Okay, I'm okay with that because this was a perfect way to make that sacrifice, I believe. So nothing but just hype, excitement for what happened at that night and what's going to happen later on. And I
Yes,
agree with you, Brian.
yeah. And you lost a beer, kiddo, but I think it's a big W. Because
W?
again, you look great, man. You look about 13, 14 years younger. About to come in here and steal everybody's ladies in the chat. Or I mean, whatever it is you about to steal, everybody hit up Kiddo in the inbox. Do what you gotta
Hey,
do.
bro, that's
But
why they call him.
let's go
That's
ahead
why
and
they
talk
call him Mr.
WrestleMania, y'all, because
Valentine.
it was a very interesting show. Now, starting with night one. So night one, they kicked it off with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, and I gotta say, I was actually in the building in the stadium, whatever, with Brian, and the crowd was a lot. They were cold for night one. We were cold for night one because it was very cold night one, and it seemed like night one as a whole, it didn't really feel like WrestleMania. It felt like a PLE.
Yes.
And we just got match after match after match. Like kind of like you'd get with AEW or normal WWE PLE. I think that's why the crowd was really light, because there wasn't any really big surprises to wake them up. But the first match, when they kicked it off, I thought it was a good match. I think the right woman won with Rhea Ripley, and interested to see where they go with Becky Lynch after this, because she was coming up kind of like unsure about herself, saying, I don't know if I can beat you. That's why I need this match. Now we see that she couldn't beat her. Where do you go at Rhea Ripley? What do you think, Brian? What did you think about the match? What did you think about the vibe in the stadium and all that?
I will 100% agree with you. Night one crowd was like, it wasn't good compared to night two. I think night two was on a complete different level in terms of energy, personnel that was there. It was high. But the first match of night one, which was Rhea and Becky, it was a good match. I still don't know how to feel about it. I still think last year's match with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte was better. This match was very good, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was okay. It wasn't like the best match ever, but there is a report rolling out that Becky did have strep throat and she was sick. So I don't know how much that impacted the match, but I'm sure it had some sort of effect. And I heard that Rhea Ripley as well had a panic attack before her match as well, and she still went
I didn't know
over.
that.
So when we're talking about this match, I guess we got to factor all those things in, because it's very brave of those ladies to still go out there regardless of what's going on, even though it's WrestleMania, putting all their personal issues to the side and putting on the match that they did. So it was a good match. It wasn't the greatest, but it was a good match.
Yeah, I did hear somebody said something about Pat McAfee said Becky Lynch had a fever, and they said that's what's helping her warm her up throughout the night. So nice way to try to play that in there. But yeah, I didn't know about the panic attack for Rhea Ripley. So shouts out to her. She actually came out there looking like a professional. So I guess it didn't affect her too much when she got out there. What did you think about everything, kiddo? Night one. Becky
Everything? Yeah, come
this
on.
first match.
That's a loaded question. Before I think we get to that, we got to acknowledge the fact that Mr. New Era himself, Paul Triple H Levesque, has came out. You know what I mean? And it started the era kind of officially. And guess what? Now we see even CM Punk in a suit, right? We see Cody in a suit. We see Triple H in a suit. So that's why I'm wearing this suit right now. We gotta, you know what I mean? The Renaissance era, the suit era, looking sharp era. Gotta, live with it. Now, the match itself, I mean, it was good. It was like you could have had it in any other pay-per-view. I do think it being on WrestleMania, we saw a lot more kickouts when it comes to finishers. I think Rhea Ripley had to hit 3 before she was able to end the match. And so you'd feel a bit of that WrestleMania spirit there, but it was, like Brian said, nothing special. It was a good match, by the way. I enjoyed while I watched it, but it was certainly not my favorite match of the night, and not even my favorite women's match of WrestleMania. But yeah, it did its job, and I am really glad that not only did Rhea Ripley go over, but she was relatively dominant too. Yeah, she got a little bit more beat up than her usual matches, which is to be expected with Becky Lynch. But at the end of the day, man, she still looked pretty dominating. And I think right now, as rough as it is, I think Becky Lynch is a bit on the downward slope, or I guess like she's just that, legend that can pretty much do anything. She doesn't need this victory, while Rhea Ripley, she needed to beat Becky Lynch here to solidify herself, I believe, because she had a great championship run, right? She looked dominant, but she never really beat an opponent in the caliber of Becky Lynch, and that's what she got to do tonight. And I am happy that happened. And so just, a nice match to start us off for night one, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And Mr. 30 Plus says, I thought Kiddo was a new guest. Salute, fellas. Yes, we got young Kiddo in the building. Omar, what did you think about, because you were in the building for night one as well. How'd you feel about the crowd? And what did you think about this first match?
I felt like the crowd was cold because we were all freaking cold, as Kenny said. It I'm still feeling it in my chest a little bit, guys. Like, I'm still feeling like the cold air when it gets in your lungs. It's no good. But Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, I expected this to be, like, honestly, the match that sold the show that night, at least. For me, that match ended up being Sami versus Gunther. But I thought it was a good match and a good way to open Mania. Like, given the fact that, these women were dealing with, everything that they were with the fever and the potential panic attack, I mean, the fact that they went out there and did what they did, it speaks volumes to both of them as athletes and as performers. And I know that, like, there are people out there who, like, they and I'm not saying anyone here, but there are people like out there who like try to like poo-poo on Becky Lynch a little too much for my liking.
I
And
do.
I think it's a little bad faith. No.
I'm one of those
I'm
guys.
talking about the ones on Twitter who say that she literally can't wrestle and that she
No.
like should retire, all that kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
crap. No, y'all are a different problem. But I think like, it's just like another like notch in like her belt. Like, she went out, had her like Jordan game, like still put on like a really good match. So shout out to Becky Lynch, shout out to Rhea Ripley. I can't wait to see what Becky does next.
We'll see.
I'm gonna say.
That's something we got to talk about too. Becky. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. But
Yeah.
I believe the match we had next up on the card was Rey Mysterio, Dominik Mysterio. Was that one next?
The second one?
Yeah, that was the next match, right? For night
I have
one?
no idea. I don't.
Well,
think
we'll
I
just
know.
run them down as I see it here. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what we're gonna
I'm
talk
not gonna lie.
about.
I missed that match looking for you guys. So
Oh, okay, yeah. So we did sit down and we saw this one, Brian.
Which one?
This match, it didn't pull me in too much. And then those two masked guys came out, and I was like, "Who are these guys?" And
There
then
you go.
the people in the arena were going crazy over my Brian. I believe you knew who they were, right?
Yeah, they were Eagles legends. Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. They play on their offensive line.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
why
so
they
I have
went
no
crazy.
idea who those guys are.
Yeah.
But shouts out to them.
Um,
Did anybody have any strong feelings on this one?
I had
This-
some feelings.
Oh, go ahead, my friend. Say your piece.
Santos Escobar and Dominic needed this match more. I don't know why Rey Mysterio won this match. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. I know that eventually he's gonna put his son over at whether it's WrestleMania or whatever the case is. It just really didn't make no sense to me, this match. I'll be honest. The ending was odd, and I guess it was a cool way to implement legends from the football team and how crazy people are about the Eagles. But I didn't think Rey Mysterio needed this win, man. I mean, Santos Escobar, this is how you establish him as a heel. You got to give him that win against Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio, man. I think they got the wrong winner.
I think so too. Yeah, that's the first thing we were talking about when it happened. I think the wrong team won. Kiddo, I see you got the 619s on your wrist. What'd you think about the winners and everything on this one?
I thought this match absolutely sucked. It was going to be the worst match of the night, saved for the next one that happened. Rey Mysterio, Dominik Mysterio. I thought they were going to give us some sort of a story here, build up to next year, maybe for their last one-on-one match, mask versus hair, and Rey Mysterio finally gets to retire, making Dominik, giving him a name, something to talk about, something he can back himself up for the rest of his career. That's what I thought. But instead, what we got was a celebrity match, a one-off match, a house show feeling match in terms of the action. Actually, here's the thing. One thing I liked about this match, let me not crap on it completely. Andrade killed it, man. With Rey Mysterio, when they did that double crossbody while Rey was on his shoulders, like that was unique. That's something that I don't see, maybe barely ever actually. I don't, see that too much. That was cool. Andrade was great in the match in general, and I'm happy that he got the center stage because ever since he came back, he really did nothing. And other than that, this match was just rough. Like, yeah, those two football legends came out, and I thought, oh, that's Savio Vega, and maybe the other guy is like, I don't know, Mil Mascaras, Alberto, whoever, some Latino Mexican legend, you know what I mean? But no, it was two football guys, and Brian knew him, and like maybe 10,000 other people knew him, and they cheered, and the rest of the 60,000 people in the arena, and in the entire world, millions of them were like, who the hell are these guys? And the match just ended nonchalantly with Rey Mysterio winning. What is the point? Can somebody make it make sense? This was not nice, but at least the action was pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't make it make sense. Well, I guess to make it make sense, this was kind of like their thing to try to get that Sports Center moment to get the.
That's what it was
okay.
for. That's all it was. You could have used a different match for that though, but I can't think of a different one right now. I don't know.
I think it had to be this one really, because if they had like two, like maybe LeBron James or something like that. Stars like that everybody knows.
Messi, Ronaldo, come on, man, that would have been cool.
They had to bring out the Philly guys. That was it. It was a Philly Mania.
That's what it was. At first though, I had no clue what it was, dog. I was like, who are these guys?
I was like, who are these guys?
Kevin,
well, you don't know. How am I supposed to know?
My brother immediately went like, he was like, oh, I know that gut. That's Jason Kelsey.
I know that gut is hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie, when he went in the ring and took his shirt off, I'm like, yeah, that's Jason Kelsey, because it was hard to tell from like what the club level where we were at, because like I can tell with wrestlers, each wrestler, but when it's just a normal guy, I'm like, who is that? But yeah.
Yeah, and they had that bright light shining directly on our faces. I'm like, bro, come on.
Oh
Bro,
man.
It's
that's
actually
why
usually on point. But yeah,
that's
we'll
what
get
happens
back
when
to
you
that
sit
tonight
at
too, I'm
like
sure.
that's what
But
happens when you sit at like C39 or whatever y'all wherever y'all was sitting
Yeah,
at.
bro.
It's
Don't
like,
make it seem like we was up there with Eddie Guerrero now.
oh,
oh,
whoa.
chill.
Let's go ahead and move on to the
Hell.
next one, which was the ladder match.
Hey, no fun. No, hey, bro. By the way, no offense to Eddie
Yes.
Guerrero. I just, he's in
Shouts out to
heaven.
Eddie
That's
Guerrero.
all it
We love
means,
him to
man.
death.
Shout outs to him.
But yeah, we saw we had the ladder match up next, and this is where we stepped out to find Mr. Real Take Wrestling in the building. And we met Justin Fatu, so we had some pretty good times on this match. But Kato, run us down on what happened because the crowd was very hot. In fact, I think the hottest the crowd got for night one was when R-Truth was out there doing his thing because they were loud.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, this match deserved it. This match should have been a night two. It would have been perfect. Night two would have been absolutely perfect if that was the case. This was the match of the night. Perhaps the most fun match to watch in the entirety of WrestleMania. Maybe, you can debate which one was the best, but this one was definitely the most fun because we had 12 people in there and there were so many spots, spot after spot. Like people got downed and then two more other joined. We just kept seeing cool stuff happening over and over again without any downtime, and all the spots were good, like JD coming in there, taking a perfect bomb through the table, the ladder itself being like wonky when Damien was on it, like it looked like it was going to break. R-Truth, R-Truth, we can just talk about R-Truth the whole time for like 20 minutes here, but he did, John Cena's moveset. He pretty much pinned Finn Balor. If this was a normal match, Finn Balor would have lost, and R-Truth would have been the undisputed tag team champions with The Miz at that point. And the reaction he got was unbelievable, so very much well deserved. It was fun. He made this thing really, really just take on it, on another level, honestly. Even when he had to improvise with Damien because the ladder was being finicky, they threw that outside and Arthur gave Damien another ladder and then he got kicked in the face, and even that was funny, you know what I mean? So they could really do no wrong. The fact that R-Truth and The Miz won and the titles got separated too, I enjoyed the hell out of that too. It was very obvious really what was going to happen, but they just did it so well. They got to that point so well, even though the point was obvious. It was just so much fun to watch. I really enjoyed the fact that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, the heel tag team, won one of those, and the second one was like a babyface. So you got those balanced, and I even love the fact that after Grayson was taken out or whatever, Austin still tried to go ahead and take that second title, showing us exactly what the stipulations are instead of Michael Cole telling us. It was just good. This match was whoever produced it. Kudos, man. I really enjoyed this. And it was just heartwarming to see The Miz and R-Truth get their recognition at WrestleMania, especially R-Truth, because Miz had his moment in the limelight, even main evented at WrestleMania, which was one of the worst ones in many people's opinions. But Miz had it. R-Truth never really did, and finally, it kind of made me tear up, man. He's cool. R-Truth.
Yeah. It is cool.
I
It's
like
good
him.
to see him get those big moments again. That was like the loudest I heard the crowd got in the night too. We heard "You Can't See Me" when we were outside, and Brian was like, "What? John Cena's out there?" I was like, "Oh no, that's
Not yet.
doing his John Cena thing." But yeah, Omar, did you go back and watch night one yet? On Kelly?
I watched the Becky and Rhea match, and I watched the big three versus Damage Control. Oh, and Sami and Gunther.
I didn't have a
those
chance to go back and watch it yet either. But speaking of the big three, let's go ahead and talk about the big three versus Damage Control, because I really want to go back and see that one on TV as well. A lot of people were saying they had the best entrance of the night, but from where we were sitting, I couldn't tell it was all three of them on whatever platform it was until they started stepping off. So I want to go back and see that on TV as well. But Jade Cargill definitely looked like money. I think she was going for a storm look, but the way her white hair looked, it just reminded me of money. She had the aura going. But as far as the match, before I get into it, what did y'all think about the match? Let's start with Brian.
I thought the match was good. They made Jade look strong, which you want to do that. This match, I honestly feel like I'm forgetting a little bit of it. It was a good match, but it was a little bit forgettable. If I'm forgetting
Omar,
about
what you
it
think
2
about
days
it?
later.
I thought this was the Jade Cargill showcase.
Yeah.
Obviously, the entire match was kind of building up to, like, when is Jade gonna come in? Because everyone in the crowd was going absolutely bananas to see Jade Cargill wrestle in WWE. We had seen her a little bit in the Rumble, but this was like her first real match on TV.
Yeah.
So when she got in the ring, crowd got electric, crowd got up, and she was everything that, people thought she would be in WWE. And I think, and then some. The presentation is flawless. I cannot wait for the day that herself and Bianca Belair feud.
Agreed.
That is going to be an epic main event level feud. Because those two, like even the looks they were giving each other towards the end of the match, like it was like that. It was like the kind of the fake smile, and it's like, oh, I'm so much better than you, but we're tag team partners. A lot of that energy, I love it. Shout out to Jade. I'm really happy to see her, living out her dream and wrestling in WWE and being the star that she's always wanted. And like she said, she's 31 years old. She ain't gonna be doing this forever, but she's gonna be doing a lot of great stuff here, I think.
Kiddo, what did you think about this match?
I think it, accomplished what it wanted to, which was to showcase Jade Cargill. But, hindsight, I think I would have liked at least Bianca and Jade to kind of establish that rivalry a bit more besides just very, very subtle looks. Maybe, go, I don't know, come face to face a little bit, have their egos clash a little bit in the match. Nothing severe, but you know what I mean? Make it more obvious. That would have been cool because, it was just them doing moves, right? And looking impressive, especially Jade Cargill. As a matter of fact, I would have wanted to see Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. Make it a short match. Make it 5 minutes. Doesn't matter. Almost like when she got the tag, right? That was also 5 minutes. And they had something from the Royal Rumble. Nia Jax has a reason there. You eliminated me. I got a legit reason. You cost me, my match at WrestleMania. Plus, she had that, Elimination Chamber main event too. Nia Jax was on there. She was on our lips. She was, hot at the moment. So right now, since she missed WrestleMania, she's going to be a little colder. And how are you going to use her anyways after this? You're going to have to come up with a brand new everything, like a program with someone else now. I thought it would have been good for Nia Jax and for us and for Jade Cargill as well. I think I could just watch Jade Cargill lift up Nia Jax all the time, every day, and I would still be impressed by it. You know what I mean? Every single time because she did it with such ease. And yeah, it would have been cool if she got the chance to do that in the biggest stage of them all, as they say. But yeah, the match did what it needed to do. But again, we're at WrestleMania, so I expected a bit more.
Yeah, so I'm not mad that they didn't put the two against each other. I think it's very early because I think they're actually going with this big three tag team, and they'll be doing this for a while. So I don't think they need to tease any bad energy between the two right now. I think, as we see in here, Jade, you could tell she's still kind of she still doesn't really have it together all the way. So this was enough they did for her. They only put her in there for a few minutes, and this whole match for me felt really short. I don't know what it was. I feel like they got them in there and they got them out of there. But I did like the presentation. I like that Jade was kind of the big star everybody wanted to see tonight, but they know Bianca is their star. They're kind of like giving her this undefeated streak on the low at WrestleMania as well. So hopefully they keep building that. But even though Jade is the big star, when they came out to the entrance, they led with Bianca Belair's music as she was coming to the ring. And I think that was it was big and it was telling because they know who their star is. But they did end the match with Jade Cargill getting the pin. They left out with her music. So poor Naomi, she kind of got washed in the whole thing. But I think it was the right call. Right choices were made, and putting Jade in there for just that short period of time shows she's still not ready for whatever reason. But they're gonna have to get her out there on house shows. They're gonna have to get her out there on these SmackDowns and keep her in that ring if they want her to be ready to face Bianca at WrestleMania next year. Because I think that is where you want to go, and you got to keep her kind of protected until then. Because if she's exposed and everybody sees she can't go, they're gonna start chanting at her, "You can't wrestle," and it's kind of hard to come back from those chants, as we see with like John Cena and Roman Reigns. I think he beat it. But they were chanting that to Roman Reigns for a long time as well.
Yeah.
But overall, I think good showcase. You could really feel the star energy coming out in this match, and I think all the girls did their thing. That the elbow drop Kairi Sane did outside the ring on, I think she did it on Naomi. That was beautiful as well. So shout out to these women. I think they definitely delivered. But I saw John Keegan earlier in the chat say he was not happy with the Usos match. A lot of people online, I think Kiro called it. He said this match was going to be kind of strange because they got the same movesets.
Yeah.
But turns out that definitely was the case. Omer, I see you rubbing your hands. What do you think about this one?
For all you WWE marks out there who want to talk about the Young Bucks and, oh my God, they overused the super kick. Oh my God, they overused the super kick. The super kick is buried and it's all the Young Bucks' fault. My G's. My people. The wonderful, the Kiss the Ring-ites, whatever y'all group is called. This match was exactly what WWE or anti-Young Buck fans have been saying for years about the Young Bucks. Like everything packaged into one big stinky pile of doo-doo. These two had the chance to go out there and tell a story like through not like they didn't even need to do any of these moves, right? They didn't need to do much. They just it's the bloodline. It's all facial expressions, bro. Like it's just a little bit of it was supposed to be me, Oos. It's just a little bit of that, and like that's it. That's the match. But no, it was like, come on, Oos, super kick. Come on, Oos, super kick. Come on, Oos, super kick. And it's just like, all right. It got annoying for me, and I'm someone who doesn't mind super kicks that much. But yeah, shout out to the Young Bucks. When they have their singles match, I know it's not going to just be this. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, like, yeah, it was very underwhelming, and especially considering we know that Jay and Jimmy can both do better. This is just, I think, a product of like bad producing and bad booking of the match. But getting to see what happened the next night was really cool because it did a little Game of Thrones spot, throwing each other off the stage. That was cool.
That was better than their whole match, by the way.
Sure.
That was all the match needed, really, what they did
Yeah.
the second night.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think about the match? You think they delivered? Because I know Jay is your boy.
I like Jay, man, but no, I don't think they delivered. And I knew this match was gonna be tough because they both have like exactly the same moveset. So I think that played a really big role in this match. The only thing that was different between Jay and Jimmy is literally the spear, and we saw Jay do that, hit the Uso splash, and it was over after that. So that's about the only thing that I'm kind of thinking that that was wrong with the match. I just think in terms of moves, it just wasn't what people wanted, man. Like I didn't need to see a mirror match, you know, and that's what it really felt like. Aside from the entrances,
We get it. They're twins. Triple H, we get it.
we literally.
Kenny, you muted.
Kenny,
You're muted.
yourself.
My bad, I was coughing. But Kiddo, any strong thoughts you had against this match?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't call it already, I'll say it right now. It was the worst match of the night by far. Like it was the last match. I had a problem with the booking and this football stars coming out there, but at least it was fun. Like I said, Andrade just gave us some stuff to look at. This match, we just had super kick, like Omer said. Like what was going on through their heads? It's really surprising to me because like as soon as you get into wrestling, which these twins were born into wrestling. You have a close friend that is also a wrestler, you immediately start booking your dream match. So you're telling me for 30 years, basically, these guys never came up with a dream match? Amazing match they could have done at WrestleMania. It's their absolute dream, the highest place they could ever do it. And this is what we got. Like, I wonder what went wrong because look, I've always seen some problems with Jimmy and Jay in terms of their in-ring performance. I think they're not the greatest, but they were certainly not this. They could have, like you said, Omer, they could have done way better than this. So I have no idea what's going on. And like, you could have even done a small thing, like give Jimmy, for example, for this match, introduce a new finisher for Jimmy so he can start using that and differentiate himself more from his brother. But not only did they not do that for Jimmy, this is my biggest, I guess, gripe with this match is that he begged. He literally begged in the ring to, stop the match. And like that made him look ridiculous. I know he was trying to trick his brother. Everybody does. But man, that image, you're not going to be able to come back from that very easily. I mean, look, Chad Gable came back from Shorty G, so anything is possible, but that was rough. And after that, after he cheated, he lost again cleanly to Jey Uso in a very quick fashion. Like, what are you going to do with Jimmy ever after this? You know what I mean? Jay can move on, and he's kind of in the same position that he was before WrestleMania. Jimmy, I'm sorry, man. To me, he's done right now. To me, he's done. He's going to have to do something dramatic to come back. But yeah, Naomi and Jimmy, they're not the luckiest couple this year. Let me just put it that way. This match was rough, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I thought this one was going to be kind of like fireworks in there because I mean these guys can go, but that is the big issue. They got the same move set. But that video package before the match started, one of the best video packages I have ever seen put together.
They don't miss with that.
Yeah, built me up. I was hyped for the match. I'm like, hi, y'all, let's go. But it just never really got me up there. I didn't mind the part about him begging off. Like I actually, that was my favorite part of the match because it put that story element in there, and that's really what I like more than anything. The match didn't really have any exciting high spots or anything like that, but I'd like that piece of the story they put in. But like you said, right afterwards, the end, pin Jimmy Uso, get him up out of there, and then you buried him again night 2. So it's gonna be rough. But you know what? The bloodline kind of got buried. And Triple H made that statement saying Roman Reigns' story right now is going to be more interesting than it's ever been, and people are going to be really invested in it. With Jimmy Uso getting buried so much, I think he's going to be a part of that where they kind of build themselves back up. So we'll see where we go. I mean, Jay, it's to the roof for him right now if he wants it to be, even though this match wasn't great. But yeah, we'll see where they go with it. I think it's going to be more interesting for Jimmy than Jay, unfortunately, because Jimmy has to kind of build himself up where Jay really has to thrive. So we'll see if he can get there. But next up, we got Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people are saying this was the best match of the night and the right decision was made here. It was a great match. I did not mind the match at all, but I just don't know if the right man won.
Agreed.
Before I get into it, go ahead, Brian. What do you think?
I really like Sami Zayn. I want to put that out there before I go into this right here. I really like him. I don't know, man. It's really hard to justify giving him this moment. And it's not that he's not a hard worker, but it's the fact that he had his moment last year. It was taken from Chad Gable, who I think should have been the guy to beat him, if it was gonna happen, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't want to say that they got the wrong winner in this situation. You had to take it off Gunther, right? You had to. Why not have Chad Gable take it off him? Like, that's just all I'm saying. Just have Chad Gable take it off him. Sammy had his moment last year, which it didn't really make sense how Chad Gable was so close to be on the card, and then he went from close to being on the card to not even being on the card at all. It just, I don't know, man. I guess it's a tough pill to swallow if you're Chad Gable, because I feel like Sami Zayn should have not been the guy to take it off him, and it feels like Sami Zayn now, he's had some great moments. I mean, he beat the Usos last year, who had the longest streak of having the titles, and then you beat Gunther, that has the longest reigning streak with the Intercontinental titles. So, I mean, right now, man, it's crazy for Sami in terms of what he's done in the WWE. It's crazy, but it was a good match, though. I love the storytelling where, they built it up, and Sami taking out the Brain Buster. That was awesome, too. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, man. Those are pretty much my thoughts on that match.
Yeah, and I agree with you again. Great match. The Brain Buster was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they built this thing up with Chad Gable and just snatched the rug from under him and gave it to Sami Zayn and tried to kind of like tell the same story, bringing his kid in. They had his wife in the crowd saying, "It's over, Gunther. It's over." I was like, no way. It's not over. It can't be over. Sami Zayn, I mean, he's been an Intercontinental Champion before. Chad Gable, he's never had the championship, right? The Intercontinental Champion?
I don't think
you
so.
could have built him up. I mean, I don't think this Intercontinental Champion is going to mean – the championship's not going to mean much on Sami Zayn. He's at a point right now where he doesn't need those championships. If you're going to put anything in his head, it has to be like the world championship. I don't think he's universal champion material, but I think he could hold a world championship. But that the Intercontinental Champion could have definitely meant a lot more on Chad Gable. And I think you should have put Chad Gable in this match and had him pin Sami Zayn to finish it out. That way, this was Brian's idea. He said Gunther shouldn't take the pin. That way you spin Gunther off and you put him in that world championship picture as well without taking that pin. And I think that could have kept him strong as well. So we'll see where they go with Gunther. Sami Zayn, I almost called you Sami Zayn.
He's here with us tonight.
Homer, what'd you think about it?
I think this, from a technical standpoint, this was the best match of the weekend. As far as WrestleMania goes. From a technical standpoint, in-ring standpoint, it was. We'll name a better match.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with you.
Bayley and Iyo Sky. Better
I'll take
psychology.
that. That's fine. I'm just as long as it's not Cody versus Roman.
Come on, brother. We love it.
No, from a technical standpoint, no. It was a great spectacle. It was a great match, but it wasn't a great wrestling match. I was hoping for more of a reaction from Brian, honestly.
No, you get a
Anyway.
reaction out of me. I know what I saw.
Yeah. It was a great spectacle. It took The Undertaker, John Cena, and all of that to finish the
But
story.
before it got to that, we'll talk about that later. But I got
We'll talk about it, y'all.
Getting defensive already.
Yeah, I got him. No, so in all seriousness, though, I mean, I was honestly with like Brian, you, and Kenny as far as like I thought it should have been Chad Gable, but I also feel like I'm of two minds, right? Because number one, I think on one hand, it was like them kind of doing a make good for Sami when he should have won the Universal title last year, but they ended up keeping it with Roman. He should have. That story would have been way better than whatever Cody did last year. But we'll have that debate next time. But I think part of it was a make good. The other part was to tell a story that was, I think, a little bit bigger than just Gunther. Like, because obviously, I mean, Gunther's been champion for a while, but I think they're bringing Sami Zayn and Chad Gable together, like in close partnership for a reason. It is so that when Chad Gable breaks Sami Zayn's heart, and when he costs him that belt, or when he takes that belt away from him in his most vulnerable moment, it'll mean more. And yes, you could have very easily put Chad Gable in this position, but I don't think there would have been, a villain like I think what Chad Gable will be for Sami, like in waiting in the wings, right? For Gable. It's like it's the problem of like, what do you do next? All right. He beats Gunther. Fantastic. WrestleMania moment. They're going to sell it. WrestleMania. All that great. Peacock. $5.99. But what's next for the world champ, or what's next for the Intercontinental Champion? I think we kind of know a little bit of what's next. Sami's going to probably do an open challenge for a few weeks. Then one day it's going to be Chad Gable being like, I want that shot, bro. And he's going to cheat to win. And we're going to get a little bit of that 2004 Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero type of vibe when they were going like back and forth for the title, where Kurt Angle was his friend who prepared him for his big match with Brock Lesnar. Eddie beat. And then afterwards, Kurt Angle turned his back on the same guy who he helped prop up. So that's where I think they're going with this. Again, I would have loved to have seen Chad Gable. I'm also very biased because I love Sami Zayn. So shout out to Sami.
Yeah, that's the big problem. When Gunther won the championship, it's like, okay, now we see Gunther's reign. Sami Zayn just won it. Now we're talking about who's going to take it off of him already. That's why I'm saying he just wasn't the guy to do it. Kiddo, what did you think about it?
Man, this was night one, but still, there's only one WrestleMania 40. There's only one chance to do this at WrestleMania where things have lined up. And we had Gunther. Omer, you mentioned he was a champion for a while. As a matter of fact, he was champion for 665 days until Sami Zayn just ended it a day or two ago. And this 665 championship day reign was ended in 2 weeks of a build-up that came out of nowhere, that felt undeserved, that felt cheap. Now, I really enjoyed the fact that, the story you put together, I think that's enjoyable, and I think that's what they should do to turn this around. But still, man, I think Gable would have benefited, and we would have remembered forever, just like a random moment. Let's talk about Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental Championship. We will remember that forever. We would have remembered Chad Gable beating Gunther, being immortal. That's what WrestleMania, that's what they sell that, like the show as to us. Chad Gable would have, immortalized himself. I think it would have been perfect. And he had a story. He already had a story, not a story that consisted of 2 weeks, but actual deep story that went to a crescendo. Then they also met each other from time to time, came face to face. He swore on his children. Chad Gable swore on his children that he would take the title from Gunther, not Sami Zayn after he beat Gunther. But again, looking at your story, that would be actually cool, I used you, Sami Zayn, to, beat the giant. Now you're weak. I'm going to go ahead and take your head off. I mean, you can spin it, but it would have been cooler, like I said, to get that WrestleMania moment. And Sami Zayn right now, as of now, still feels like it's unearned. And I got to talk about the match as well. I think technically it was very good until the very end because, Sami had that Hulk Hogan 80s Hulk up. went crazy as if like a evil spirit went in him, and like this was the Exorcist. And then he got up and he basically was healed of all injuries, all damage, and he just steamrolled over Gunther. I think the ending could have been handled a bit more gracefully. But like I said, I don't like this was fun. Don't get me wrong. I really had fun watching this match. I liked it too. I would easily like give it over like 6, 7, 8. We'd go up there, not a 10, but this was good. But again, there's only one WrestleMania. There's only one chance to really make an impact. And WrestleMania, man, everybody watches it, not just us, not even the casual fans. Like the casual fans probably tune into WrestleMania. And yeah, I just don't think they should have missed this chance to make Chad Gable, give him a moment in front of all these people's eyes.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting because, again, this is the first WrestleMania of the Triple H era, and Chad Gable's kind of a Triple H guy. I remember down there he was like really popping in NXT to the main roster. Unfortunately, Vince McMahon turned him into Shorty G. So I just don't know why they would make this type of pivot if they don't think he's – I really can't even say anything because I don't get it. I think he was in a perfect position to actually unseat Gunther at this WrestleMania. So for him to be going through that story this whole time and just completely fall off the card, it's just kind of it's insane to me. I don't get that one. But it looks like the chat right now, we got most people saying that Sami Zayn was the right guy to win this match. So I don't know. Maybe we're wrong.
I can understand, I guess. Yeah.
Look, chat, I agree. They are wrong.
Come on.
Well, before we get into the main event of night one, I gotta say shout out to Real Take Wrestling.
Oh yeah,
when we see Mr. Omer Q, y'all. He gets all of the wrestling updates pretty much as soon as they happen. This guy is in the know when everything goes down. So make sure y'all subscribe to Real Take Wrestling if you have not already. But the main event, we got Roman Reigns, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. The end of this match was beautiful. I'll just say that right now because it's the result I wanted to see at the end of night 2, but at least we got it on night 1. But The Rock comes out. He's the only one who really got a big entrance here, and that's because this was his spot. He didn't have a match in night 2 where we saw everybody else get the big entrances. They had the Brahma Bull right there on fire, The Rock walking through it. Beautiful visual. We saw it like from the top angle where he was coming right down, so we saw the bull the whole time and him walking through the fire. Beautiful visual. I want to see how it looked on TV though, because they said it looks like he was just walking through fire, and then they eventually revealed the logo. But it was a nice entrance for The Rock in a very long match. Anybody got the time on this thing? Was it like an hour long?
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
And the entrances and the whole shebang with the promo package was over, I think, 120 minutes, something like that.
Goodness. Insane. They went out there to put on a show. But shout out to Tom Talks Rubbish for the super chat. Says, what's up, party people? Make sure y'all check out Tom Talks Rubbish if y'all haven't already. My first interview over there. So yeah. Very interesting. Omer has one coming up as well.
There you go, man. There you go.
Make sure y'all tune into Tom Talks Rubbish if y'all haven't already. But who do we want to start with on this match? Kiddo, let's start with you. What did you think about this whole movie?
What's up? Okay, whole movie. movie is right. Holy moly. Like I had a friend. I was watching this with my friends, Turkish friends on Discord, and it's very late for them, and they tried to stay up the whole night. They fought valiantly to stay up for the main event, but during the entrances, because it took so long, one of my friends fell asleep and we couldn't wake him up. He was gone. I was so sad. It was long. And, they do the entrances would take a while after the promo packages. And then they stare down at each other, which is normal. They obviously should milk this. But, I mean, it just adds up. And you're like, oh, my God. And in the middle of the match, finally, that's when I woke up. Especially when The Rock said, referee, if you mess with this match, if you start counting, you're going to get fired. Like, okay, I was like, all right, let me get up. Let me get energized. We're getting into it. You know what I mean? But you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean you three, what were you doing, man? Cody and The Rock, they were staring at each other. They were waiting for the reaction. And the crowd was just not there. Come on. I know it's cold, but...
It was cold, bro. It's freezing.
Come on.
Okay. You don't understand. Like, it was freezing cold. And, like,
this was the worst.
It didn't help that the match sucked for 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Come on. It didn't suck.
Okay, can I be real quick about this? I'll give you a real take real quick. But the first 30 minutes of this abomination were, like, horrible. Like, I understand it's WrestleMania, spectacle. I was expecting that fully. I've seen like every WrestleMania. It's going to go like down like that. I get it. At a certain point, though, we started counting. I was taking bets 15 minutes into this match.
Oh, no.
How many bumps is The Rock going to take in this match? The over-under was 5.
Oh,
Yeah. He got to 6 bumps in this match. All right?
All right.
So congrats to The Rock. He took 6 bumps. But in all seriousness, like, no, I understand making the spectacle, making it a big deal, and, having the stare downs. Triple H loves that. Like, that is a quintessentially Triple H move to book, like, stare downs at WrestleMania. However, at a certain point, it has to kick into high gear. The last 10 or so minutes, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it was, amazing. Like, I thought that's exactly what this match needed to be. Add another 10 minutes. If this was like all 25 minutes long, I wouldn't be mad. I think I would have felt like I got my money's worth. I would have felt like they did exactly what they needed to do. 45 minutes is too damn long for whatever the hell this is. It was not good wrestling. It was not good spectacle. It was just crap. And then it didn't help that the 2 racists sitting in front of me told me to get out. So, did not enjoy this match. But
Bro,
hey, Bob, what do you think?
young kids, man. What do you want? What do you want? I got the price of it. Like, I got my money's worth the second the Rock's walked out. When he walked out, boom, money's worth already there for 1. For 2, what do you mean? You said there weren't enough high spots and the Rock only took 6 bumps. The Rock is 51 years old. How many bumps do you want him to take? This man took a rock bottom through the announcer table. What do you want from him?
If you had listened to what I said, Kenny, I would have told you. My problem wasn't that. That was just a side note.
Yeah.
My issue
why did
was
we count it out? Like, why did we point it out? Why are we counting how many bumps a 51-year-old man is
I'm
taking?
trying to tell a narrative. I'm trying to share my perspective, bro. Unless you want to be like
Kenny, let's be fair. He didn't crap on that. He didn't crap on that.
Get out, Kenny. I could just leave.
Whoa.
Oh, now you want to leave because I'm calling it out. Now, this is my problem with what you said. You said it was 45 minutes of nothing. Bro, this is wrestling. You don't get in there. You don't just Drew McIntyre hit. That's what you wanted for 45 minutes. Drew McIntyre hitting Seth Rollins with the Claymore as soon as the match started. You wanted rock bottoms and people's elbows and
you damn right I did.
No. This was old school wrestling. You build the match up for 45 minutes.
This was old wrestling. You damn right it was old wrestling.
Old wrestling that made a lot of money. Now, here's the thing. I agree with you.
I love AEW, Omer, but it hurts your mind.
Okay.
Right now, you are watching a spectacle. You're watching The Rock.
Bro,
I get it. Burying me. All right, you know what? I'll sit back.
That's Rollins.
Go ahead.
This was 45 minutes of nothing. You got these megastars in the ring building up a show, just building something up for you. And then you just crap on it like, nah, there's 45 minutes of nothing. This was amazing.
Kenneth.
Look at the chat, 89%. This was amazing, bro.
Yeah. Look. I've been beefing with your chat for a minute now, but they did not like my Young Bucks take. But no, in all seriousness, like my issue was not with The Rock taking bumps or not. I just brought it up as an aside to share my perspective. My real issue was that they did not really tell a story. It like no
way. They told it really slowly, okay? Look, I was going to agree with you, but like all Roman Reigns matches, nearly all of them, take 30 minutes to get to the point. But they're telling some sort of a story really slowly to the crescendo. They're just really slow at doing it. But once they get to it, they get to it. And that's what happened in this match, man. Like,
that's what I said, though. I said 30 minutes of crap, and then the last 15 were great.
And here's the thing. I want to add to that. Next night, we saw that it didn't need to be that way. Even their entrances were a lot shorter. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that, man. Like, why did they take so freaking long? They didn't need to. I agree. But, they could have tightened it up, made the pacing 10 times better. But still, we're talking about a Rock that didn't wrestle for 8 years. And here's my take on him. My real take on him is that if this was 1998, we would have seen a similar match. Like, The Rock would have taken 10 bumps maybe. But
no, the match wouldn't have been 40 minutes long.
I don't know. All I'm saying is that his performance was really, really good. Like it was
really good.
Really, really good.
It was a great
he carried it.
He's 51 years old. He was in there looking like he was 22. Does he have lipo or whatever? We don't know. It doesn't matter. But the guy looked great, and he did not blow himself up. If he got in there and they just started going crazy, throwing like boom, 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 back to back, everybody would have been like, well, they're still saying he got blown up, which I didn't see that. Everybody would have been complaining because he was tired. and he was standing on the ringside most of the time. But this was pretty much like a tornado tag. Everybody was pretty much working throughout the whole match. If you didn't like what The Rock was doing, you could look up the ramp and see Roman Reigns and whoever he was fighting doing a thing.
I will say 2 more things before I let you guys dominate the conversation. I love the fact that the Rock said the F word, like I'm not gonna say it here just so we don't get demonetized, and we could hear it in the PLE, you know what I mean, without any censors. I love that, like it was fine. Everybody else was saying it too, I guess, throughout the entire night. Well, not more than the Rock, but that, and number 2 is that Cody lost in a brutal fashion, and I'm not a person who's a big fan of Cody, but I also thought this was the right move to do. The classic hero's journey. He had to get beat this much, even more so than when he got whipped by The Rock in front of the bus or anything like that, just so his comeback could be even sweeter. So, yeah, there were some rough points in this match. The main point, I would say, is the pacing. But at the end of the day, they accomplished what they needed to do perfectly because it led us to night 2, which, we're going to talk about that. But yeah, I like this match at the end of the day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get Brian's thoughts on this tag match in night 1.
I left with a smile on my face, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I knew that when Cody got pinned, he won the WWE Championship in that moment. I left and I was happy. I mean, at the end of the day, we know how WWE works. I mean, us who are deep into this, I mean, kids, they probably had question marks over their heads thinking, oh my God, is Cody going to win tomorrow? But us, we have some experience in this. I knew what was going to happen, dog. Cody was going to finish the story the next day. So
I love how Brian's like, yo, I'm not a kid, bro. I knew I know it's fake.
He tried.
But listen, dog, you know what I'm saying? It was a good match, bro. I love seeing The Rock. I was texting Kenny every day like, hey, dog, what you think of these seats, man? Because since I knew The Rock was wrestling, I knew that I had to be there, man. We don't get these opportunities too many times. And we don't know if he's going to wrestle again. We know the Roman story will come eventually, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to be there live. So for me to see The Rock perform, better than anything, man. So the match to me was good. I got to disagree with Mr. Ohm over here. You need that spectacle. You need that build. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it.
All right, for sure.
Don't take your head down there, bro.
I mean, y'all don't listen to what I'm saying. That's fine. Like I agree with you, but y'all just gonna keep besmirching my name. That's fine.
Well, I can take this at least because The Rock hit Cody Rhodes with the rock bottom and the people's elbow, and it was beautiful for him to take that 1-2-3 pin clean in that ring. Love to see it.
Oh, before we move on, one last thing. Even though Cody is obviously my favorite wrestler, I would have still liked to see some blood in the match. And I would like to see The Rock hand it over to Mama Rhodes like that, because that's all he's been talking about. I feel like that most definitely should have been an angle, even if Cody had to blade just a little bit. And I think it would have even added more of a dynamic for the next night. But that's
you're
just
right.
my 2 cents.
It's a great point.
You're right. I didn't think about that. I wonder why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't use blood at all on this.
At all.
Okay.
It would have been perfect after the win. Here you go, Mama Rhodes. He's the belt.
All right, but we got to get you guys out of here before Monday Night Raw, so we're going to go ahead and run through night 2 really quick. First match we had, night 2. Whoo, this one was hot. This might be my favorite match of the whole WrestleMania.
I really liked it.
Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre kicked the match off. My favorite part of it was I couldn't hear CM Punk on commentary because I was in the building. But Drew McIntyre kicked it off with a knee to Seth Rollins, the Claymore, knocked him out, almost hit him with that Jorge Masvidal 1-2-3. Seth Rollins kicks out, and I think the match was just up since then. This is what y'all wanted for 45 minutes in that tag team match. Well, Omar, I guess this is what you wanted. What did you think about this one?
Come on, man. Come on.
It was those fireworks you wanted to see. No thoughts on it?
No,
All right,
you asking me? You asking me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I thought it was great.
It was beautiful.
I guess I'm just the wrestling mark, right?
But yeah, one thing I want to point out before we get back to Kittle, then, since you don't want to elaborate, Drew McIntyre took his phone, like he had his girlfriend and some other guy in the crowd, And he went back and tweeted out on his
Quadrupled.
phone, bored at work, and went back to wrestle. This guy is crazy, hilarious.
Yo,
What do you think
that
about this
second
match,
tweet was
Kiddo?
way funnier though. That second
Oh yeah.
tweet.
Oh,
that
the
was
bomb?
mad funny, dog. Yeah, I think he dropped the F bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like F. He quote tweeted himself like truck.
Oh, man.
What'd you think about the match, Kiddo?
Well, let's see here. I honestly focused on you guys, aka the crowd, a little bit more because everybody bullied you guys. I felt kind of bad, on Twitter. They're like, the crowd sucks, the crowd sucks. So let me see, like, because I was just shooting the crowd with my friends as we were watching, so I didn't really focus on the crowd last night. At day 1, day 2, I focused on it, and I thought, the crowd was okay until the moment with CM Punk happened, the cash in. But that's when you kind of like. The crowd, kicked up, and then I don't think they ever went down after that. But the match itself, I did enjoy it, and I felt like I was watching, especially at the very beginning with that quick Claymore. Like, what is this, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg right now? What's going on? It felt like one of their WrestleMania matches with all the finishers going around. Obviously, we only had, well, I say only, but we had 4 Claymores to end the match. The match itself was fun, man. Seth Rollins, obviously, he's in the match, and it's never going to be bad. The ending, the only thing I would have liked is, I don't know, it kind of happened suddenly. The last Claymore where Seth Rollins was getting up,
Yeah.
they kind of tried to look at each other and do that, like, I'm sorry, I love you moment, or like Seth Rollins, hyping himself up, like, come on, finish me. I don't want to, like, I would have liked something like that, something where like Seth Rollins goes on his sword and shield, like something that symbolizes that. It was like so sudden, but this is a nitpick. This is a nitpick. I like this match, and I like the fact that Drew won it, got the live victory in front of the crowd. He was looking like an absolute psycho, and then he messed with CM Punk, and sure, like we could all see it coming. We could all see CM Punk, swiping the leg or something like that, but I was thinking about it like, oh yeah, this has like 25% chance of happening. And when it happened, I was shocked. And then right in front of that shock, they brought in Damian Priest and they gave him the title. That was the perfect way to do it, because not only do I think Damian Priest really isn't cut from that material to be even a world champion right now because of the way he's been booked. He's been like messing with R-Truth the whole time. So that's kind of bad for his image. I feel like that's what I've been saying anyways. But this, what's that?
Said John Cena did it. He was world champion. A whole feud with R-Truth.
Yeah, I know that was one of the worst pay-per-views I've seen ever. I think Capital Punishment. I don't want to go back to those times right now, but yeah, like they just created a moment. I thought there was no way I would see any good Damian Priest cash in, but they totally made me eat my words here. He looked good with the championship, but I am scared of what's gonna happen after this point. Are they gonna be able to back him up now, or make him this big championship level world heavyweight championship level wrestler? That's what I'm excited to see. As far as you not hearing CM Punk on commentary, obviously I heard him, and I thought it was cool because he called Seth Rollins a goof, absolute goof, when he was entering because of his entrance, and he looked like Adam Rose. So I really enjoyed the fact that CM Punk was on there and saying whatever he likes to say, you know what I mean? And double standards. Guess what? Michael Cole can't say that. Michael Cole can't say whatever he feels freely, but CM Punk can. Come on, man. Do you really think? Do you really think CM Punk doesn't have a double standard? I just enjoyed someone just going in there and causing some drama again. It's just wrestling, we need drama so people fight. So I enjoy the fact that CM Punk kind of said that, because that's how I feel as well, man. Like Seth Rollins, I love the fact, this is the last thing I'll say, is that like before the match, Seth was looking at the title super serious backstage. I love that vibe of Seth Rollins. Why couldn't he keep that seriousness, keep that vibe in the match too? But anyways, yeah, this was, as far as an opening match goes, it was like a nice shot of adrenaline. I was ready to, watch the rest of the night. The cash-in was almost perfectly done, I think. So, yeah, I liked it.
Well, CM Punk is going to look like a goof when the Young Bucks run this tape on Wednesday. So, Dr. Loaded in the chat, by the way, who says the Young Bucks are not better than the Usos. I think the Young Bucks are better than the Usos, for sure.
Way better.
Those two can have a good one-on-one match together where the Usos couldn't. But let's go ahead and keep it going here. Brian, you got any strong points you want to make on this first match?
Nah,
and what do you think about Damian Priest cashing in?
Oh, yeah. I think this match was good. I think this is the way you set the tone, had the crowd hyped. I lost my voice from the very first match.
Oh, no.
Which was that one. And my voice was gone for the rest of the night. Great match. I love that they gave Drew his moment all in one, and they did everything, but Drew still got his moment momentarily. But yeah, it was such a good. It was just so well done, man. And I like the spot that CM Punk got where he got to hit Drew McIntyre, and then he blew the kiss into the camera, and then Damian Priest comes in, cashing out, and man, oh man,
running back.
that
to
was
old
awesome,
hits,
bro.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing new.
You know, going back to just seeing the Hispanic community eat in wrestling, just love to see it, man. You know what I'm saying? So just very, very happy to have a Hispanic world champion at the moment, and Damian Priest. We'll see how long he can keep this going. Can he keep, you know, the belt somewhat prestigious? I think Seth Rollins did an okay job at it. I know a lot of people, you know, they make it seem like Seth was like had this title all the way at the top, like next to the undisputed title. It was cool, but you know, it wasn't that crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this whole thing with Damian Priest holds. I'd absolutely laugh if he loses it tonight, but we'll see what happens.
I have to say one thing.
They pull a cane on him. They may
No
pull a
way.
cane when he loses it the next night.
The wherewithal of CM Punk when Damian Priest music plays to live out the meme, like Triple H, like
it was literally perfect timing, Omar. He did it.
It was great. I was like, say what you want about Punk. Him knowing that, not being on Twitter, not being on social media, like that's like I got to give it up to Phil Brooks there. Like my man knew what he was doing.
He's not on Twitter anymore. Like he left Twitter like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, he is. If he's not on Twitter with his main account, he has a sock account.
Oh, he definitely does. But like I'm talking about like
he's on Twitter.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, allegedly.
Why you beating on the narrative, bro? You a hater, bro. You a hater,
bro. He can act and pretend like he's not on Twitter. He's on Twitter, 100%.
Hey, hold on. Tony Khan's dealer. Listen, bro. We do not care what you got
Tony
to
Khan's
say.
dealer.
We appreciate the $1.99.
Oh,
Don't come in here with that BS.
Hopefully MJF debuts. Whoa, wait a minute. You're
He's still under contract.
Like, what are we doing?
Yo. Let me demystify this myth. MJF is still under contract with AEW.
Thank you. And Omer, just so y'all know, Omer is an insider. So if y'all want to
I'm not. No, stop that bullshit right now. Don't be starting that.
No, I'm joking, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's not an insider.
I want that smoke, bro. I've seen I don't want that smoke.
He is an insider, y'all. He gets the scoops. Make sure you subscribe to Real Take Wrestling, and y'all won't miss anything. Omar, you was at the you was at the press conference, right? AEW
I wasn't at no damn press conference, bro.
Okay, yeah. He was backstage at press conferences, y'all.
The way I talk about Vince McMahon, they don't want me in there.
But Brian, you know what? It's a beautiful thing. You said you can see the Hispanic community eat with Damian Priest getting his championship, right?
Yeah, and so Bayley as well.
Bailey. Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. That is beautiful.
And my boy Cody Rhodes is Italian. If we want to get really technical in here.
Oh, let's go.
All right, now.
The black community, they definitely ate with Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill, but they did not eat with the next match we're going to talk about. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Oh yeah.
This was supposed to be the bathroom match, but I did sit in there and I chilled because Bubba Ray Dudley came out and they did the table spots. They were nice hits, but this was probably the match I cared about the least on the card. The thing I walked away with most was the Final Testament. Their entrance music kind of bangs in the arena, so that was cool at least. What did y'all think about this?
My takeaway was Karrion Kross needs to get off the juice, bro. He broke that table way too quickly with his own body weight. That was crazy.
spot right there, man.
Oh boy.
No, that's a TNA.
Come
spot.
on, man. Not 1 second.
I seen AEW break it the other day, bro. Like 3-4 weeks ago.
Wait. Cite your sources. Send me the clip, and we'll see. Because I don't remember seeing it.
I will send it to you.
It's me.
Whoa, CM Punk kissed Drew's wife. No, he didn't.
What?
Whoa, shut up. You're 26, but you're going crazy.
He kisses. Imagine that he kisses Drew's wife and then has the audacity to confront Drew about it, and then be mad. Like I don't know why he was mad, so I had to choke him out.
All right. Well, yes, this match definitely happened. The next match we're going to talk about is LA Knight and AJ Styles. Kiddo Valentine. Oh, I got to say before we get into it, LA Knight has the most annoying fans in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Behind me, like, yeah. It's like the new mic from what is it? He said it's like the new mic from Finding Nemo. And all night there was yeah. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, I picked the wrong seats. But Kiddo, you said you didn't like AJ Styles' old music, so I'm going to blame you for this new music. What did you think about
That joint was garbage.
Garbage.
I heard it briefly when he was making his entrance. I didn't get the chance to listen to it after, like in a clean version, but it sounded rough. It sounded like the most generic ChatGPT Western, like country song you could ever find. It's like,
Perfect way to put it. Because it was terrible. You were the first person I thought about. I said, well, Kiddo didn't like this old song. Here you go, buddy.
God damn it. This is not what I wanted.
No drop or nothing. He's just out there. Like, whoa.
They did him dirty for sure. But you know what? At least I liked the match, man. There was just too much Slim Jim going on in the beginning. Even when Elena was doing his taunt, instead of looking at his taunt, look at the Slim Jim logo. You know what I mean? That was kind of rough. And when I was watching, obviously you guys had a different experience. But AJ actually put on a good match here. Nothing special. Like this wasn't even like I would say a WrestleMania worthy crazy match, but it was good. It was the best match AJ Styles has put on in the WWE for a while. And so I'm hopeful, man. Like he's 47 years old and he's still able to do this, look like this. So I'm hopeful for the future of AJ Styles. I think he's gonna show us some cool things. Man, feud with CM Punk immediately. You know what I mean? That's what I want right now.
Please no, they're gonna make CM Punk win.
Come on, man.
AJ Styles does look great, especially for his age. So you said he's 47, 48?
Something like that.
The guy looks like he's 35, maybe 34. So I mean, if he can still go and his body's feeling good, I should let him go.
Brian, what is that?
Brian, what are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
You never had a needle, bro, and then you pump it?
Brian,
Brian,
bro.
Your fingers look crazy.
I thought I got this demonetized, but that just did it right there.
No, Loaded. We see you retracted the message. That's why you said you went to drop the number 2 during the 6-man match. Don't drop it. Don't remove it now. But Brian, you got anything else you want to put on this? Y'all, we're gonna get y'all out of here before Monday Night Raw. We're gonna go ahead and get to this main event.
What 6-man tag match? Or you talking about LA Knight?
LA Knight.
Yeah. Nah, that was a good match, man. Yeah. I loved it, man. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Some of the spots LA Knight had was pretty dope, man. And you know what I'm saying, bro? I'm glad that he won. You know what I'm saying? It's he needed it. I don't think it does anything for AJ right now. LA Knight needed that to stay hot. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on him, you can still do that. You can do a bunch of stuff with LA Knight still. So I think he needed that match desperately after the Roman Reigns feud.
Yeah.
Speaking
of Money in the Bank, me, Kiddo, and Brian will be at the Money in the Bank.
Yes, sir.
We hope you come out with us. We'll see.
Sir, man, we will be out there. Flights is blocked.
Yeah, flights is locked. Yes, they are. Kiddo's already in Canada, so he doesn't need one. But let's go ahead and move on to the next match. We're going to go ahead and let Kiddo take this one because we had Iyo Sky and Bayley.
Okay. Well, I did go on record of saying in earlier episodes that Bayley is my favorite women's wrestler of all time. And this was a very high-level match, I thought. The crowd, man, the whole match is chanting for Bayley. I was not expecting that. Last night they got criticized, but with this match, I thought all criticism went out of the window. They proved themselves tenfold with this one. Not only did they chant Bayley's name and sang a song for her, but then when things got real, when the match got heated, they were there for the whole thing, and it just made this match 10 times more exciting to watch. And in the beginning, I was scared because Iyo was like a little off on her drop kicks, and some of the spots looked a little off. But by the end, man, they just kept on hitting good spot after good spot after good spot, and Bayley won. And this was good. This was great. This was what Bayley needed. This was what Bayley deserved. I really believe so because, man, Sasha Banks, Becky, and Charlotte, especially Charlotte, they've gotten so many cool moments, but Bayley, ever since she came into the main roster, she was hit or miss. Like when you look at NXT, Bayley was incredible there. Brooklyn 1, Brooklyn 2. Some of my most favorite women's matches of all time. Some of my most favorite matches of all time, as a matter of fact. And this was one of them too, because it's because I like Bayley so much, and she won here. She had a whole new look, man, and I dig the Egyptian style she got going on. The new theme song was good, even though I liked her that last one a lot too. But yeah, like it was nice. It was nice. She had a badass entrance. Iyo came out there, and I think she overdid herself because Iyo is also hit or miss. I think in her matches, depending on who she faces with. Like I still remember a year or two ago, she faced with Charlotte, and they couldn't communicate too well, and that match was like all over the place. But here, man, they picked it up and they just never let it go. And like I was just so hyped throughout the entire match. I was smiling like a kid. And when Bayley hit that roast plant, but EO did the spin out of it. Like, oh my God, that was nice, man. It wasn't like anything rocket science. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was just nice thing after another. And like, again, when Bayley won, I was just happy, man. This match just made me happy. I thought this match was absolutely what it needed to be. Iyo Sky losing, obviously that's sad, but when you look at how she carried the title, through no fault of her own, I think like the booking of it was kind of rough. She was kind of sidelined anyway. She wasn't doing anything with the title. Ever since she won it, she was kind of mid with it. You know what I mean? So hopefully now she can build herself back up and go for that championship one more time in the future. In the meanwhile, I want Becky Lynch. Oh my God. Bayley. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Don't let that happen, please, God. I pray. I fall and pray, just like Karrion Kross. Bayley, just carry that title. You know, have a legendary run with it. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. But I loved it, man. I loved it. Thank you for throwing it at me, man. Like I said.
Yeah, no, I know. I watched your review. I know you said you liked the match. We wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Omer, anything you want to add to that?
Fantastic match. Only thing I'll add is that I was truly upset that Bayley didn't come out to her original NXT babyface theme. I really wanted that. That would have been great.
You want to do that for one night, though? I guess it could have been cool.
Yeah. Ain't no stopping us now. That would have been cool.
Ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor. Come on, bro. I was there. I wanted Drew McIntyre to come out to Broken Dreams, but
oh my God, yeah.
Yo, I was praying for it that there would be like a remix once his old song started. I'm like, please just remix that in.
Would have been perfect.
I thought they were gonna play like the Scottish thing, and then it would probably go dark, and then we'll get that boom, boom. But it didn't happen, unfortunately. But the next match, we definitely got to talk about Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. I think this was fun. I think it was fun. I like the comedy spots between Kevin and Randy. Oh yeah, speed.
Yeah, I show speed.
Building.
But yeah, man.
Did y'all like this match? We don't got to stick on it long because we got to get to the main event.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a cool match. I like the speed spot with Randy Orton and Randy barking at him. RKO.
Yeah, barking back.
Yeah, honestly, bro, I'm not even mad at the match. And Randy had a fantastic RKO after getting thrown up in the air and coming down with the RKO. Personally, love the match. Logan Paul once again looking like he's not out of place in that match with a great performance.
No, he belongs.
Yeah, man. I personally enjoyed everything about the match. I mean, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, he proves he belongs in there with them. But let's go ahead and talk about the main event. We had Cody Rhodes, who had an unbelievable entrance. When I was sitting at the mask looked really cool, and then I actually saw a close up on it. And I was like, oh, okay, it kind of looks kind of cheap, but I thought it was a great visual. Him coming up with the mask on, Brandy Rhodes coming out behind him. Apparently, people didn't know who she was at first or whatever because she didn't get the pop until she actually got right next to him. But she got a pretty good pop as well. So they pulled off the entrances, the lights at the top of the arena. Brian, I don't know if you saw them, but they were like waving. That's why I was like, yo, WWE production is crazy.
It was nuts, bro. Because on TV, like, you're like, oh, this production is nuts. But when you're there in person and you're actually seeing the whole shebang in terms of, like, lights and everything, it's like, holy, like, dude. It was
insane. Roman Reigns coming out. He had a pretty standard entrance, but his music, they were playing his music. It was like the, what do you call it, band orchestra.
It was similar to last year, but I think they played it with a different tempo this year.
Yeah.
It was perfect, man.
Yeah, it was perfect, though. It was really good. Roman Reigns is somebody who doesn't need all the bells and whistles, but you know, he comes out and you feel what's going on. But as far as the match itself, this one, I mean, it started off a lot faster than the match yesterday. I thought it was perfect. I thought what they did was absolutely perfect. 9 out of 10. There was one thing they could have pulled off better, but I just think they couldn't pull it off. Before we get into it, anybody want to break down the match?
I'll break it down.
Break it down.
You know what I'm saying, my boy? No, it was a good match, man. We got that that thing where the stare down that Omer was talking about earlier, man. We got that once again with them. They wanted to give us that visual again. Then it starts off with it seems like a little more old school, traditional wrestling match. Lot of good wrestling involved. I thought the match was really good even without the spectacle, honestly speaking. And then Cody Rhodes keeps trying to hit this Trinity, bro. And every time he's going for the third crossroads, somebody comes out and interrupts. So Jimmy Uso hits him with a super kick, and that basically sets up everything. And one of the craziest, I think, spots of WrestleMania when Jey Uso comes out and everybody goes crazy and spears Jimmy off the ramp onto tables, which I thought that was amazing in my opinion. And then after that, we get Solo Sikoa, I believe, if I'm not mistaken in the thing, right?
Yeah.
So we get Solo. He comes out, and it took John Cena a minute to come out. Like my boy getting spiked and speared. I'm like, dog, what's going on? He getting smashed. And then John Cena comes out, and the pop was generational, y'all. Like, bro, this was a crazy pop, but there was an even crazier one that I'll get to in a second. The John Cena comes out, puts Solo through a table, and then people pop for The Rock, of course, but I feel like out of all the legends that came out, that was the lowest one. But obviously, because The Rock's been around and stuff for the last couple months. But then The Rock comes out, and it was hilarious when The Rock is walking down the ramp. He's like, John Cena, you effing with my stuff, bro. Like, come on, get out the ring, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was just The Rock, man. Like, since I've been watching wrestling, and obviously The Rock, he's been around a couple times with the CM Punk, John Cena, and stuff like that. This is the absolute best work I've seen him do with my very eyes in terms of just like since he's left the WWE. You know, I don't want to get into that because I didn't get to watch his career back then. But like, this is 1000% my favorite Rock. Like, just watching him as a heel, he's just amazing at everything he does, and just seeing how he handled yesterday, like. Even when he came out and rock bottom John Cena, and then Undertaker comes out, the way he played that off.
Whoa! Before you go there, I gotta point out, because y'all were talking about stare downs all night.
Yeah.
The biggest stare down, the best stare down all night was The Rock and John Cena.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
People popped. To the right,
yeah.
And then they switched and looked the opposite directions. That was huge.
Yeah, people popped. I personally loved it, man. Like, it was cool. And then
Brian, you missed something before Taker, though.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Omer. Thank you.
Then Sting came out.
We got Shield Seth Rollins, which, dog, everything happened so fast. I know you guys on TV caught it, but like me and Kenny who were there, like we looked, we blinked, and he was just knocked out on the ground. I'm like, dog, like did somebody just throw Seth Rollins over the rope and he's just knocked out?
Same for you, kiddo.
Yeah, on TV.
Same for you guys. Okay,
he came in and just got knocked out.
I'm like, dog. I'm like, how is Seth Rollins knocked out? Like me and my dad were like, yo, like what just happened?
All I saw was red and black. I saw Roman. I thought he speared him. He went so fast across that ring, and Seth Rollins laid out. I was like, what happened? The guy next to me, when the music hit, he was like, it's Dean Ambrose. I'm like, oh, it's not Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, man. I was like,
John Moxley learned the name.
Yeah, it was just.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was a big moment too.
It was.
They planned this match out a long time ago, because there was like a promo Seth Rollins told
the Shield,
Cody Rhodes,
be your shield.
I'm going to be your shield. I'm the only person who can be your shield.
Yeah.
And during the match, Roman Reigns grabbed that chair and he looked at Cody Rhodes, and instead of hitting Cody Rhodes, he hit Seth Rollins, and that's based off of their past. So beautiful.
And I just want to throw something on top of that. It was poetic how Seth Rollins fell after he got hit with the chair shot. If you go look at that Roman Reigns chair shot side by side,
same thing.
Money. I personally loved it. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we got to go back to Taker.
I want to stay there for one more second, because this moment I thought was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy and Jey Uso, they hate each other.
Yes.
Like, Jey came out to get Jimmy, John Cena, Solo Sikoa, because they had the match. But the moment, because he said, I'm going to be your shield or whatever, is because Roman Reigns has that feeling towards Seth Rollins.
Right.
That's why as soon as Seth got in the ring, Roman attacked him, took him out just like the other guys took down their counterparts. So it was deeper than that. That's why Seth Rollins went down so quick. He came out in that shield gear to kind of trigger Roman Reigns, and that was the whole reason he got taken out so fast.
Exactly. Because Roman was ready to hit Cody with that chair.
Oh, yeah.
He looked to his left, he looked to his right, and he looked back at Seth, and he was just like, man, like all those memories of that chair shot and those times that he had with the Shield, they all came running back to him, and he was just like, F this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why as soon as he got in there, Roman got on him. Boom! I thought it was beautiful. I didn't understand it in the moment, but going back and seeing people like
It makes sense.
go back to that promo, I'm like, all right, makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
this was beautiful storytelling. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, it was a great match. The only thing that was sort of confusing and didn't make that much sense, but I tried to make sense of it, and I'll explain it in a second. Undertaker coming out. That was obviously me and Kenny were talking about it. It should have been Stone Cold, and that was definitely a Stone Cold spot. You know what I'm saying? Rock is just chilling there, just waiting, and we were just doing that and
I don't care.
kind of waiting for
I
that. But
don't
then
care.
Taker came out. Taker came out the dong, and then everybody's
Oh,
like,
man.
"That's
So I was
1000% the biggest pop of the night."
I've never popped like
1000%.
that in the rest of the
Oh
day.
my God, dude.
1000%.
I was
Yeah.
like, jumping up and down, going crazy.
Yeah.
The guy next to me grabbed me like, "Oh, I'm like, I don't know you, bro."
Yeah, man. It was a great moment. The only thing that I can remotely even make sense about it is the fact that Roman Reigns did beat Taker. He came out the night after and said, "This is my yard now." This to me was like a receipt.
It's Attitude Era, bro. Undertaker and The Rock. Listen, I think they 100% tried to get Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I no 100%.
That
That was the
shot we
rumor.
saw with Stone Cold and John Cena on the trucks, that
Yeah.
was telling us what was going to happen. 100%. If Stone Cold could be there, he would have been there. Obviously, he didn't want to do it or something. So, hey, you got the Undertaker, use him. Why not? Two guys from the Attitude Era, and that's enough sense for me.
It would have
Hey,
been cool if
go ahead.
Drew came in the Bloodline side and Undertaker took Drew out. They kind of look like each other, anyways.
Wouldn't have done that though. Drew hates the bloodline.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It would have not made sense.
True, yeah. They did cost him.
That's why him
It's
or
Drew.
Seth, when people were talking about Seth, when people were talking about
Bateman out
Seth turning on Cody Rhodes, it didn't make no sense to me at all because this whole time Rollins been talking about how much he hates the bloodline. Like how it wouldn't make sense.
Roman Reigns is my brother at the end of the day. I hate him.
I also,
It's me and him. If anybody's going to take it from Roman, I'm going to take it. That's how he could have done it. But I mean, I like what they did. You know, it made a lot of sense with Rollins, you know, actually just being that enemy to Roman Reigns, his rival, and taking one on the chin for Cody. I thought it was beautifully played out. I only say 9 out of 10 because Stone Cold would have been such a great moment, but he's scared. He's scared to come back.
Yeah, dude,
The
come
Rock is in there
on.
looking so good.
Nah, man. I mean, if The Rock would have sold this stunner perfectly, I would have loved to see that.
But Stone Cold, I think he feels like he's not Stone Cold of the previous days. He said it before. I mean, when he came out there and fought Kevin Owens, he didn't even take his shirt off. So I just think he's in a different place right now, and he's
Mentally.
scared to go out there and
Yeah.
Yeah.
because his
Look.
thing is what's next if I do that, bro.
What I want to
Right.
what I want to say real quick is the fact that The Rock is gracious for doing all of this because he didn't have to step aside, didn't have to take this loss, he didn't have to take this beating, he didn't have to pivot this story this way, but he did. I think Stone Cold should eat some more humble pie, come out there and drop people on their necks.
I mean,
wait, what beating did this man take? The Undertaker took him and drug him to hell so he could go shoot another movie. Like that's what
He took
happened.
a choke
Perfect.
slam.
Perfect.
He took a choke
What
slam.
did
Like,
he
what
do
did,
now? Oh, he took a bump. I'm sorry. Okay, fine.
what
Okay,
did you
6
want them
bumps.
to do? So you wanted the Undertaker to get a chair and beat him 40 times
Okay,
back
first
with
of all,
it?
you want to talk about the Undertaker? He shouldn't have been there.
Undertaker can't tombstone him, and his knees are going out. So
so
he's
so
choke slam.
Omar, if it's not Stone Cold, who would be the replacement?
You guys are gonna hate this, but bring out every single person who came out to celebrate with Cody afterwards.
no,
Because
that's not a
He's
moment.
already saying no before I even explain it. So what's the
It's
point?
not a moment though.
That's why I don't like. You know what, guys? This is why I don't like coming on this show. All right.
Oh, Homer doesn't like
One-sided-
coming on the show. There it goes.
Yeah.
John.
No. This
There it goes.
one-sided a cancel culture that Kenny Baum is pushing.
All
on
right,
the
go ahead, man, Homer.
Kenny
Go ahead.
Bomb
I'm-
culture.
Nah, I'm playing, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, like, if you wanted to make it make sense within the story, is what I'm saying, right? You have all these people coming through who have been wronged by the bloodline
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, right? And I think it could have been in a more compelling, and I'm not saying like better, because look, the Poppy Undertaker got legendary. It's always gonna happen. To me, that's just like Marvel ass, like, you know, like we have the IP, we're gonna use it kind of deal, which is like it sells, that's fine. Is it great storytelling? No, but it is what it is. But if you had a situation where you had Drew, Seth, LA Knight, AJ Styles, every single person that Roman had ever like screwed over on the way to the top, right? Over the past 3 years, come out and all of them combined, they all look at each other, even though they all like have their own little beefs between each other. They know this is what's best for not only WWE, but also for all of them to get another shot at it. Like they all take out The Rock together. I thought that would have been way more compelling and way better for the story. Because again, spectacle is great. I know The Undertaker's your favorite wrestler, Kenny. I get it. But man, like it just made zero sense. Like Brian talked about WrestleMania 33 and that whole thing. That's fine. Still doesn't make that much sense to me because it had nothing to do with the bloodline.
To me, like the whole
Who
idea is
that's
that
crazy.
one by one. You know what I mean? If it was 1 versus 5, Cody's not the babyface anymore. He's being unfair.
Exactly.
No, but
now y'all are ganging up
no,
on The Rock.
not in this way though, because Cody is
only to take out The Rock.
Yeah, Cody is
only to take out The Rock.
I can see. I see Omer's point of view. Me personally, because of the pop and the value the moment gave me for the rest of my life, 1000%. I'm gonna take Taker.
You have the Undertaker. He's alive. Use him. That's
took me out of the moment.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Exactly. How long do we have the Undertaker and y'all are complaining about this man making
I'm not complaining, bro. Bro, it took me out of the moment.
But then you have to think about it like this, though. It wouldn't have made sense if that happened, Omer, because those people that you're mentioning, they were never beefing with The Rock. They were beefing with Roman Reigns.
But
so they would have had to have some standing with Roman Reigns.
Not listening to me, bro.
Kenny, I can't get on that.
Everybody came with their counterpart, though. Jay came to get Jimmy. Okay, those two have beef. LA Knight versus The Rock. Bro, come on. You want to see LA Knight standing in The Rock's face?
Really?
Listen to what I'm saying.
It's The Undertaker versus The Rock. If it's not Stone Cold, The Undertaker was the perfect person to come out.
Making shit up.
Exactly, dude. Come on.
I don't know, man.
It's
I gotta
disagree,
Kenny. I can't. You know what I'm saying? We was on the same boat, my boy. But I get it. I get what you're saying, but I also see Omer's point of view in this situation.
I mean, you can see his point of view. That's completely fine, and I see his point of view, but I don't agree with it. So you would rather see AJ Styles and LA Knight and Randy Orton standing in The Rock's face over The Undertaker?
It would have
because y'all weren't born in the attitude era. That's what it is. Y'all are an attitude era kids.
Hold on. I didn't say that though. I said for pop and value and for being at the actual show, to me, I prefer The Undertaker. But for the storyline to make a little more sense, Omer's angle would have been better for the story.
I mean, Undertaker is an old timer.
The story is over.
Yeah, it is over.
Into that chapter. Yeah. That's done.
And he wants what's best for business, just like everybody else.
That's completely
what I mean? That's why he comes
understandable.
in there.
Hey, Carol, are we gonna get an explanation why Undertaker was there on TV?
You don't need one.
Yeah, actually, you don't need double standards.
Undertaker was there to stop Roman or stop the
double standards. It's the Undertaker, dude. Like the conversation's over.
Then I have a different perspective on wrestling. Then that's all. That is what it is.
Oh, listen. Shout out to AEW, but you talking about stories, bro. You don't get no stories over at AEW. Let's be honest.
All right, that's a whole different conversation.
I hate to do it, y'all. Y'all know I'm an AEW guy too, but
it's a whole different story that you're wrong about. Like, we're not talking about AEW. We're talking about the shows that we went to. We're talking about WrestleMania. We're talking about WWE and their inability to tell a good story in that specific moment when they brought out the Undertaker. They brought him out there.
You can't attack the Undertaker coming out here.
Listen to me, Kenny. They brought him out there so they could roll out the Undertaker, get that big pop, right, and get that big.
They did it for us.
That's it.
They did it for us.
They did it for you. They did it for you. They did not do it for the story. They didn't do it for Cody. It made no sense as far as that goes. It's in a vacuum of its own. Like people who watch that back 20 years from now, they're gonna make, so why was the Undertaker there?
No, they will not. No, they will absolutely not.
They'll be going, oh my God, it's the Undertaker. Let's go.
I mean, listen, bro, I went crazy when I saw Taker go, but
I would have gone crazy too.
I don't mind it. I don't necessarily mind it, but I also see Omer's point of view. That's all this is.
Moments.
That's all this is. Yeah, man. But what I'm saying is, I get Omer's point of view, but it would have been way more compelling.
Ryan, you don't get Omer's point of view because night one you were complaining because there were no legends out there. So what you were asking for when we left night one, they did it on night two, and now you're saying you understand and you want to see LA Knight.
No, I'm not. I mean,
no, that's not WrestleMania. That's not WrestleMania.
That's not what I'm saying, though, bro. What I'm saying is legends. I mean, Stone Cold. It makes sense because that's The Rock's biggest rival.
And The Undertaker was another one of The Rock's rivals back in the day.
He was not. Oh my God, he was his tag partner, Kenny. Come on, you watch the Attitude Era.
What was that? What was that? Come
Was
on.
that the Big
The
Show?
Undertaker and The Rock. No, what does The Rock say? Like,
Listen,
the Undertaker and
listen,
Kane come out there.
Listen, I'll leave my thought. Listen, I'll leave
They
my.
have iconic promo segments.
I'll leave
You
my
broke-
thoughts at
you
this.
broke Omer.
Y'all weren't watching week
You
by
broke
week.
Omer, dude. It's done.
I'll leave my thoughts at this.
Yeah.
Listen.
It was the Big Show. That was the Big Show, Kenny.
Oh, I thought, no, he said it about Kane. Oh no, RFP. Fuck. He
he
did
was
the
doing
Kane
the-
thing too. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll leave my thoughts at this, man. I enjoyed the moment. I thought the moment was cool. I think it's something that I'm never going to forget about as a wrestling fan. But I also get Omer's point of view. That's all I'm saying about it. I
That's all
enjoyed
it
it.
was for you to enjoy the moment because this is
Right.
WrestleMania. You're not going to see John. So John Cena has to be on Raw tomorrow and SmackDown since he attacked Solo, so we can follow up that
Man,
story.
bro,
Nah,
why
that's
are you
not the point of this.
manipulating what I
That's not
said?
the point of this, though.
Well,
That's
you,
not the point.
you do this. You gaslight. You
So now
gaslight,
it's
bro.
my point.
You gaslight.
So now the story
Get
isn't
on
the
him, get
point.
on him, Omer. He does gaslight.
Now
Get
the
on
story
him.
is
Get
the
on
gas-
him.
Gaslight, bro. Now I see it.
Top
Like-
gaslighter. Now you see why I be
funny when
getting
I'm
mad at
watching
him, bro.
that,
Yeah.
but now I see it, and I'm like, yo, I don't like this.
Sometimes, yeah.
Great for ratings.
Hey, you know what?
He's a Stephen
not
A.
even-
Smith
I already
dog
do not know.
of our
Now I'm
show,
gaslighting.
bro. He's
I'm
always
telling y'all
stirring-
my
Kenny,
opinion.
always
here.
stirring something
Y'all
up,
saying
man.
it's gaslighting. Bro, it's a fact. Like I cannot believe
It's a
y'all
fact, I
are sitting
agree.
here right now saying at WrestleMania.
Oh my
you're gonna
God, Kenny. I thought about it. We get like all these people coming out, right? We got like The Rock coming out, John Cena coming out, and then AJ Styles comes out instead of The Undertaker. Think about it.
What are we doing? Like, what
Nah,
are we doing?
why y'all saying just AJ Styles though? It could have been
AJ
literally
Styles and LA
everybody.
Knight.
Or anybody else.
I literally,
The guys
I
we
I
saw
love,
that blow
I
up.
love Randy
That's not what I
Orton.
booked,
Randy
man.
Orton comes out, same effect instead of The Undertaker. Like what? It's not even comparable.
Undertaker-
Hey,
It's
listen,
not
bro, y'all
worth it.
listen,
Y'all
y'all,
are wild.
you guys
Y'all are
listen,
wild. Y'all just
listen.
didn't listen to what I said, bro.
Listen,
It's fine.
you guys are
It's
comparing.
fine.
You guys are comparing shock value to the storyline. That's all Omer's saying here, bro. The
That's
moment, the
WrestleMania.
I'm
moment,
not saying one
This
is
is the
better
end of
than the
the
other. I'm
story.
saying that's
Yeah.
what I prefer.
yeah,
Damn.
that's all he's saying. The moment was cool.
Wait, Brian, do you eat your appetizer after the main food? Like what's going on here, bro?
Dog, the moment was cool. I'm not disagreeing. I just agree with Omer's
no,
point
no,
of
no.
view as well.
All right, so straight up, Brian. Final thoughts on it. You think it should have been LA Knight and everybody else come out against?
No, I'm
The Rock
no,
and
I'm
Undertaker?
100% okay with the moment. The
You
moment
think
that
it should have been Undertaker?
bro, you're not. You see,
I'm
This
just
is
asking
what-
you a question
this
right
is
now.
what you do. This is
I'm
what
just
you
asking
do.
you a question.
I
I want to know where you stand
He's-
definitively. Who do
No,
you
I
think it should have
personally
been?
no, bro. I'm going with the Undertaker. That moment I'll never
That's
forget.
all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is I also agree with where Omer's coming from. That's
You
all
can
I'm
only, you can
saying.
only agree with one. You can't
I
agree
know,
with two.
no, yes, I can agree
If
with
you're the
two.
booker, you have to make a decision. Are you going with LA Knight and the boys, or are you going with the Undertaker to take down the Rock?
Going with the Undertaker. For
So you
moment
agree with
value.
me? There
But
we
story-
go. We
but
got to get
storyline-
Omer up out of the building. But shout out to Shiro Labs, who says, "Hey guys, glad you're streaming again. I agree with Brian. It would make more sense if it was someone else. But as a fan of
Exactly.
WWE, seeing the
Thank
Undertaker was
you.
great. Depends on the perspectives, really. It would make sense if it was Stone Cold, but obviously they couldn't get Stone Cold. So
What's the next best thing?
what's the next
The
best thing?
Undertaker, and that's
The
fine.
Undertaker.
I'm not disagreeing. That's fine.
If it could have been Triple H, I mean, even then. But unfortunately, my boy can't go.
That
no
would have
more.
made Cody the
Triple H
corporate
would've been a good
champion.
one.
That would have
Make
made
him
Cody
the
the
corporate
corporate
champion.
champion.
The Rock is the final
Yo,
boss.
he got that little people's championship, bro.
Oh boy.
He came, bro. People got so mad at me because I was like making so much fun of The Rock. I was like, yo, he was like, I want a belt too. Like, so he just came out with that.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That's crazy. Bringing
Totally,
that
bro.
out.
I think I see the point, bro. It just shows that The Rock is out of touch in kayfabe. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Egomaniac. I enjoyed it. I love the fact that
Yeah.
he came out with the belt.
Not out of touch. The Rock is not out of touch.
That's not what I said.
No,
kayfabe,
Kenny,
brother.
no, don't
start.
Why did you say Rock's out of touch?
I said in kayfabe, bro, because
I can't
I
be
said-
on
no,
camera.
Kenny, hold
It's
on.
hard.
Kenny, hold on.
Bro,
I
it's
said
not
in
gonna work.
kayfabe. I said in
You lost.
kayfabe because people like to compare him to The Rock nowadays because he's pulling strings and doing all this and that. It just shows that he's an egomaniac. That's why he has the belt. That's why I say he's out of touch in
trying to play a
kayfabe.
character like he's
In
out of touch.
kayfabe.
Yes.
Yeah, I said
Friendly
in
fire.
kayfabe.
Yeah, okay.
Friendly
Listen,
fire,
clean
bro.
out them ears.
Yo, the
Right.
airplane tore my ears up today.
I can
And that
tell.
never happened
I
before.
can tell.
Wait, though, let's respect Omer's time, man. You got any final thoughts?
Yes.
Anything you want to say before?
Yeah, I do want to say this real quick. I have been a fan of not like obviously, y'all know I am not a big fan of this version of the Cody Rhodes character. I have like obvious criticisms of it, and I think that WWE has done a horrible job of building him up. Look at how over Cody was at the end of that night. If they had told a great story, imagine what that reaction and what the feeling would have been. It would have been even better. However, I will say, for Cody Garrett Reynolds, the man, like as someone who's followed his career, and I'm y'all can laugh, I'm dead serious. Like as someone who's followed his career, as someone who watched like every like almost every indie show and every TNA show and every Ring of Honor and AEW show he was on, watched every episode of BTE. Like the rise of this dude as like a person and like into like the next level superstar that he is for WWE. Watching that has been an absolute privilege. And like for me, that was enough for me to get invested in the moment, even though I wasn't a big fan of this of the actual story. Like I loved it, and I'm so happy for him. I'm happy he got to celebrate with his brother, with everyone else who was there, and he got crowned. Like this was a statement, and I think overall, like WrestleMania 40 was a statement that this is a new era. And if you notice, right, the three people that they put out in front at the end of that show, Cody Rhodes, Nick Khan, Triple H. Those were the three people. Are the three people that TKO wants us to know are going to define this next generation of WWE or this next era, what have you. And look, we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's gonna be some interesting follow up here. We're gonna have to see who Cody faces, but I'm really happy for Cody, the dude. It's just awesome to see.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
Man.
I do got to say as well before we get out of here. I wanted Cody Rhodes to lose this match, but you know what? You can't do nothing but respect the man. He definitely earned it. Like he earned this spot. We say you deserve it. You deserve it to all these wrestlers, but he is a man who deserves it because he didn't like where he was with Stardust, and I think if he stayed there, he would have ended up getting released and kind of messed up on his own terms, but he left on his own terms and built himself up to a star. AEW made him a superstar. He came back to WWE, and you know what? He took on every responsibility he was supposed to. He didn't falter at all. He just kept growing, and I think he made himself into this monster. And when you look at him, you can see he is the guy. So I got to give him a shout out there. He definitely did deserve that moment last night. That you should have had that Survivor Series. Anybody else got to say something before we get out of here?
Yeah, he finally finished the story. He built his kingdom, just like how he talks about in his song. Mm-hmm. He did deserve it, man. The ride The Rock took us on. He wasn't alone. It was with Cody. So just we give kudos to The Rock, kudos to Roman Reigns, but we also got to give the kudos to the main character of this story, the hero of the story, which at the end of the day is Cody freaking Rhodes. So,
Agreed. Yeah, man.
Good Brian, get us up out of here.
Yeah, man. Great moment with Cody Rhodes. Had a lot of fun last night. Gave me a moment that I'll never forget as a wrestling fan. Shout out to Real Take Wrestling Omer, Kenny as well. Paying up they bets, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Dubs, I'm still waiting for your DM, man. I need my 50 bucks. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get y'all up out of here, man. Get ready for Raw. Omer got to go as well. We're going to catch y'all.
Loaded as well in the chat. We hope we can
loaded.
Get loaded.
Yes, sir, my boy. Be that line of communication for me. Give me my 50. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to catch y'all. Peace. All right, bro.